some of the stuff that you were talking about, some of the things that you were talking about, like remembering the bottom card, and then remembering the bottom card, and then when you ask them to pick a card, want to stop? Tell them when to stop.
Okay.
All right, this one. All right, so look at your card. All right, and so you got it? All right, so I'm gonna start cutting the deck, and you tell me when to stop, okay?
Okay,
Now? All right, card on top. All right. So, when you were talking about knowing the bottom card, that's part known as forcing a card on somebody. So you are forcing the audience to pick a certain card. And so you know whatever the outcome is. It doesn't matter what the card they picked because you already know what it is. And so there's other things you can do to make your trick seem a little bit harder. All right, you ready? Next card I flip is going to be your card. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So something like that. So something like that where you've already put their card down and you're telling them the next card you're going to flip. You're letting the audience think they beat you. They already know that you've gone past their card.
Yeah. I thought too. I thought you were going to flip the card off them.
You thought I was going to flip this one. But I already knew that one. You got me pretty good when you went through the deck you let me go through the deck because I already knew the Queen of Spades. So I actually had to drop a few cards, just so I can glance at the bottom of the deck and get a quick read of what the next card was. So stuff like that. Because I always found performing with magic to be kind of funky. Yeah, you're supposed to look really good when you do it. You're supposed to have your trick perfect so that way no one can figure out how you did it. But sometimes if you mess up, you can make that work to your advantage. And so something I like to do, I like to know 3 different ways to do a trick. And I like to know 3 different ways to do a trick because if you ever have an audience member that goes, I know how to do that trick.
Yeah. I've seen them do that before.
Yeah. And did it suck?
Yeah.
Did they know how to do your trick? So the reason why I like to know 3 different ways to do a trick is if someone does that to you, then you can mess them up and start going into a different trick. And if you know how to do a trick multiple ways, you can mess with people and be able to do all kinds of stuff. And no one will be able to guess what trick you're doing because you can easily jump from one trick to another trick. And so I would really recommend that. When I said I knew a few different ways to do pick a card, I knew a few different ways to do pick a card. And that's just because I've had people heckle me and say, I know how to do that. My favorite way to do it, though, is to mark a deck. Have you ever marked cards before? You know what marked cards do? Yeah, so there's different ways to mark cards. So I brought my journal to show you some things, to show you something. You ever write in codes?
Once in a while.
So these are just a few different codes I've got. And I've written different codes on cards. But the reason why I would really suggest bicycle cards over something like this, these are great cards. These are cool. But
I have cards like those that got lost. So I have these cards.
So all bicycle cards are going to have something like this where they've got the baby riding a bicycle, and there'll be like little pedals or something. Like these have like little tick marks all around it. If you take an X-Acto knife, you can scratch off one of those tick marks. And when you do that, you can know which one that is. I've marked a lot of decks, and I've used this system. People don't guess this right away, and people don't understand what they're doing. what you're doing. And so marking a deck is my favorite way to do the pick a card trick, because it's the easiest one to do. And people may think they know how to do it, but they can't prove that you marked a deck because they don't know what to look for. Something like this, or something like this, so you can compare the cards. And there's stuff you can do with these too. You can do something like this, like the background is really busy, and so you could like slip, like just make little notches in there somehow.
Like little pencil marks.
Little pencil marks. The problem with something like this is it's pretty obvious if there's a pencil on it. So that's why I always go with bicycle cards. And with bicycle cards, no one. Not a second deck. With bicycle cards, people trust them. People trust bicycle cards, and they like them a lot. And so you want to go with something that people are familiar with, because the more familiar they are with something, the more they think they know it. And magic is all about what they don't know. Does that make sense? Or?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want to see another trick, or?
Yeah.
So there's a few tricks I can do. So, do you want to know how I did this do you want to tell me? Do you have any ideas how I did the last one? The last one involves all math, and that's why I don't even have to look at the cards. I just look at you at the entire time. So when I looked at you, so when I had you guess your card.
So you have a white card in that deck too?
No, this one's. So when I looked at you, when I was having you pick whatever card you wanted, I can even do it like this. Just find your card. You got it? Don't even point. You got it? All right. So when you saw me flip cards down and count them out. When I was counting, I was always making sure one of these 5 cards was the middle of 5, was the third in every 5. So it doesn't matter. So the first one, just put 2 cards down, and then put a card on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I put a card on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Card on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the last one is 2. So it goes 2, 4, 4, 4, 2. And that will put all those 5 cards I showed you, the middle card.
So you get 5 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put down 2.
Mm-hmm.
And put 1.
Mm-hmm.
Put 1, and then 2, 4.
And then a card on top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And so all those cards are now the middle card. And that's the hardest part of the trick.
Oh, so you let them pick a card and then you put it in the middle, and then you know it's the middle.
You know it's the middle. When I knew it was your card, when I got to the stack of 5 that had yours in it, I could have just picked the middle card right there.
Yeah.
But what I like to, so what the next step to do?
We have your cards, and then don't you put 2 down?
So what I do, you're talking about when I get the deck to tell you, right?
Which you already have the deck.
Yeah. So when I've got the 5 cards, so the reason why I put a card in between all of them, and I have them stand out a little. And so it kind of forms like a fan like that. So you're going to have the 5 original and then 4 on the 4 above.
And then isn't their card always at the end?
Yeah, their card is in the middle. So
No, isn't it at like the end or something? Or is it in the middle?
it's in the middle of it's in the very middle of all of this. So the middle card is going to be this one.
So we put the card.
Yeah, so you just slide 4 cards in between them all. Excuse me. And then slide them so that you've got the 4 poking out just like that. Alright, so now you can take half your deck and put it on top, and put this half on top of this.
Wait, but how do you get this 5 again?
So I'm gonna.
But didn't you put all those in here?
You just need to worry about the five that's got the card they picked. So once you got that.
So the 4 other piles in here?
They don't matter anymore. Because you've got the one they've already picked in there. You're holding the card. And so you can just slide these together and put that on top. And then put them on here. And then your trick is all set up.
Then you go down and up?
Yeah, so when you hold it, so I'm just letting you know this because I messed this trick up a few times because I was holding it too tight. You need the cards to be able you just need to be able to hold it onto it just a little. And so so that way the cards can slide. And so when you turn the cards upside down, you push. And those 4 that you put in the 5, the 4 in the like that, when they come down, they're gonna push the 5 up. And when you put it down again, the 2 are gonna those cards are gonna push the card they picked again.
So you go like that, or like this?
Either way will work. So you can go. Do you want to try it?
Yeah.
So push. So just lightly push. There you go. Then flip it around. 2, and then big one, and then the card poking up is the card they picked. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So you don't ever actually have to know what card they picked. You just have to know how to count to 5 and how to count to 3, and you're good. Isn't that awesome? It's my favorite trick. It requires the least amount of work.
Do you know coin tricks?
I know a few.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if you brought a coin, so I brought a rock.
Here, I got coin. Here. I've got another magician before.
Mm-hmm.
The professional one.
Man, that'd be cool.
You've taught me how to do this trick. So just stand up, grab the coin,
Mm-hmm.
and if you hold, squeeze it hard enough, it goes away.
Mm-hmm.
But the how you do is just that they think you grab it, but you drop it into their hand, and you're like, but you don't want it to go like this, or else if they think you have it, and pretend you don't have it, and you're like, you pretend that you squeeze it so it goes away, and it goes away.
Want to see my favorite one? All right, so it's been a while since I've done this one. So you take it, you crush the coin, and then guess what? It's gone.
So, do you do it right here? So I'm going to see something. But I saw your fingers like that.
No.
So the right here.
All right, so this one, so you hold the coin between your 2 fingers, and then when you crush it, you're putting the coin right there. And then when you let go, your thumb just naturally holds it.
But when you go like this,
Yeah, you
go like that, so let's see it.
Yeah, so your hands, if you just let go of your hands and just put them out like this, they're naturally going to curl. And so when you're doing coin magic, you want your hands to look as natural as possible.
Yeah.
And so your fingers naturally curl. Like it takes some effort to put them out like that. But naturally, my hands go like this. That's why when I do that trick, my fingers can be spread apart. As long as you can't see what's under my thumb, you don't know the coin's there.
Use this trick. You get it, go through the tube. So you get your coin, grab it, and you knock three times. 1, 2, 3, and then make it hit the bottom. Goes away. It's under the table. The thing is that when you grab it, you pretend you put your thumb here, so it looks like you're grabbing it like that, but it actually falls into your shirt. And you pretend you have it in your hands, and you knock 3 times. Makes it look like the table is getting ready for it to go away. So there's nothing really with knocking. So you just knock 3 times, and then when you hit the bottom, the coin that's in your hand needs to hit the table too. So it sounds like you hit it with it. So you go it sounds like the coin hit the table. But then when you lift your hand and they're like, whoa, how do you do that? But then you pull it up and it's like, whoa. It's cool.
Do you know how to do this one? Alright, so this isn't really magic. This is going back to coin flourishes. And this one just makes it look cooler. So you balance it on the top of your knuckle, and then you reach over and you grab it and you just flip it over like that.
How do you do it with your other fingers?
A lot of practice. There you go. There you go. I'm not gonna lie, this one took me hours to get. And when you get it to the index, when you get it to your ring finger, your index, whatever that finger's called, and you can just sit it.
Ring finger?
Yeah.
Or pinky?
No, the ring finger. So your pinky's gonna grab it and slide it, and you're gonna catch it and slide it under your fingers. There you go. You ready for the other? We're ready to see one other one?
Yeah.
Alright, ready? You take your fingers and just go like that. Alright, right. Want to know how to do that one? So put them together. Go ahead, put them together. Alright. All of this is counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So all you're doing, when you do it this slow, you're training your hands to be able to move like this because it, as you found out, it's not normal. And so when you can get it to do that, when you can get it that slow, you just speed it up a little. So there you go. And so the reason why I showed you this and this is because you actually are pretty good at this stuff already. You've got some tricks I've never seen before, and if you hadn't explained how to do the sevens, never would have figured it out. So you're good there. There's just certain things like the showmanship part of it that's just takes a while to know how to do. And that's the stuff that I had a harder time with. But you're great. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. So, yeah, the chapstick, isn't that the one where you go like this and you push it in, but you actually use your hand to make it stick to the chapstick?
I wish. That's actually because my lips get chapped. That's
Also works there.
huh?
That also works there.
Yeah. Do you know how to? Have you ever seen like the ashes trick? So cool things about like chapstick, you can write on it. So you can draw an A on here. And so when you do something like that, all right, tell me when.
Now.
Now? You sure? All right, here's your card. All right, but I don't know this is your card. So we're gonna ask the spirits to tell me what your card is. And so you can take dirt or ashes from burning something, and you can rub it on your arm, and the stuff, the dirt and ash is going to stick to the chapstick, and it's going to form the A right there.
But how do you know that the A was going to go there?
So remember when we talked, I told you in the beginning, like that's called a forcing the audience to pick something?
Yeah.
I knew the bottom card was an ace to begin with. I knew it was. I just needed to force you to pick an ace.
Wait, so all those cards were aces?
No. So this is a type of drawing. So when I pick cards, I was pulling like this, and when you told me to stop, my thumb grabbed the bottom card, and I slid out just like that.
Oh.
Isn't that just so easy?
Yeah.
So you can do it with anything. So tell me when to stop.
There's this one which is my hands are too small to do it, but you know how to make the card switch?
Which one?
Like to make the card switch, you go like this and then is to switch
Mm-hmm.
sides. You know how to do that?
Switch sides or color?
You know, like switch a different card.
I don't remember that one.
Well, my hands are too small, but you put your hand on it and you put your hand up. But when you put your hand up, you put your palm on the bottom, bottom like this, and you pull it back, and then you put it on the top, and you're like, voila. And I switch it to the card. But my hands are too small, so when I lift it up to the top, you can see the card, and I have to move my hands back. So you go like this with the. Which thumb pushes it up with that? So like, then they pick a card and like, so we like pull it back. How do you do that?
Which one?
The one where you get the ace. Like that.
Just grab it from behind. So you grab the cards like this. And so you just pinch a little, and that bottom card's going to slide right off.
So you have some cards. And you go like this. But how do you get hold of the other cards without just the top and on them?
Practice. So I have to hold it so that I can push all the cards to the back of my hand. So that way when you tell me to stop, I just push down and grab. See? Alright. I'm trying to remember. Have you ever heard of the trick Black Magic?
No.
Alright. So this one you actually need a partner for, and this is one of the more fun tricks. So Black Magic is, you have two people and an audience. So one person is going to leave the room, and the audience member is going to tell this guy, he's just going to point to an object in the room. So in the case, so this time it'll be this card. And so it'll be he wants the guy that left the room to guess the king of clubs. So he's gonna leave. So he's gonna tell this guy, it's somebody, and so he's gonna come back. And so with only using by only pointing to things in the room, he is going to guess the king of clubs.
Wait, he's going to tell him that there's a card, and he has to guess the.
All right, so he's going to point to something in the room. So in this case, so the next example, another thing will be like my backpack. So let's say your dad was in here. So you're going to leave the room, and your dad's going to point to something like, oh, the chair, that chair in particular. So, and then you're going to come back. And by me asking you only yes or no questions, you're going to be able to guess that chair. So there's.
So he can do like, what do you mean by yes or no questions?
So questions like, is it this rock? And you're going to say no. Is it this coin? No. Is it? So see how like you can answer it yes or no.
Oh, but like you meant to say those, so you're counting questions. So like you're gonna say like before you do the trick, you're gonna tell them that it's gonna be the third thing I'm gonna ask you. Then you're gonna be like, is it the rock? And you say no, coin, no, and you're saying the chair, and you're saying yes.
So that's one way to do it. And then, so remember how I told you it's good to know multiple ways to do one trick? So this is called black magic for a reason. For this purpose, you point to something black. And so you say, is it this notebook? And you're going to say no, but you know I pointed to something black, and so the next thing is going to be the thing. So you know it's not, so you know it's the chair. The next thing. So I'd say, is it the notebook? Is it that chair? There you go. So this kind of trick, you have to have two people that know how to do it. And the reason, and so it's good that you figured out you can do it by question, by the number of questions. But I like to do it with color because color is a little more inconspicuous. And people don't typically think he's only pointing to red things. And because there's all different kinds of shades of stuff, you could even be like, is it the computer? And then you know that the next thing is the thing. Or is it these deck of cards? Is it the bird on your shirt? And so you can always mix it up a little. And when you ask about it, you don't have to say, is it the black bird on your shirt? Is it the black computer? And because that gives it away a little.
Why means if the thing you pick is black?
Then that's okay, because you're going to point to two black things then.
Oh.
So in the case of this time it'll be the computer. I'll say, is it this backpack? No, but the next thing is a computer, and it's it. So you already went to the first black thing, and so the second black thing doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you want to try it? Do you want to get your dad?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Try not to sound too excited.